Hello, Sue Ricks from the Sue Ricks Academy. This is in answer to a question about how you cope with when one of your children moves out, and that's on an emotional basis and also on an energetic basis, practical as well. So having been through this, when I've got two boys and two gorgeous sons, and they moved out when it was the right time for them. And what I can pass on to anybody who's going through this is that it's the most amazing thing that can happen when your children move out to start their own life, because that's what you've dedicated your life to, is to bringing them up, to teaching them about things that you think are important, to helping them to know what to do, how to cope. And when they know that they're ready to spread their wings and fly away, then you can really celebrate that they've done so well that they're ready to fly the nest. And at the same time, oh my golly, does it hurt. It so hurts. And you're celebrating and hurting at the same time. So it's good to experience both of those. Don't block anything. Yeah. Celebrate. Know how great it is that they feel confident enough that everything's in place for them to be able to move out and spread their wings and fly. But it's also really important to know that you are hurting, but also what can you do to fill that gap, that hole that's left once they've left. And when it was the turn for my youngest son to move out, I did everything that I knew was important to do. I thought about all the things that I had always wanted to have time to do. I wanted to, the things that I wanted to do that meant that I could use the space, because you've got a physical space where your child has left home, and it's up to you whether you leave it exactly as it is, so that if they've flown the nest but they might be coming back, then that's one thing. But in an ideal world, once they fly the nest, they fly the nest. Yeah. So I'm also going to be talking about an instance, and that relates to the question that I've had, where a lady's adult son has moved out. Yeah. And then there's that physical space of what do you do about that physical space, and also how you cope. So let's just take it one step at a time. You've got their space that they vacated, and we're going to work on the basis of positivity, and it's all going to work out, and that they've flown the nest, and they have flown and they've gone. So you can then decide what you want to do with that space. So the first thing to do is to make sure that it's physically and energetically clear. So if they've left lots of stuff, then box it all up. Maybe make arrangements with when you would like it collected by, or a date that you would like it moving into storage, or whether you're going to put it in an attic. I don't recommend that because it tends to stay there and not get removed, but it's an option. And if you're the sort of person who can put a date in the diary and say, right, I'm going to leave it in there for 6 months and then I want them to come and fetch it, then that's great. But what can you then do with the space? So that space is now clear, you've made your own arrangements inside your own head and your own discussions with your own child, and the space is now clear. So the important thing to do now is to smudge it. So you get yourself a smudge stick, yeah, and smudge the space. If you don't know how to smudge, go and have a look in the Sue Ricks Academy and find out how to smudge spaces. You'll find lots of information all over the place about how to do smudging. And once you've smudged the space, the windows are open, you've cleaned the room, it's smudged, yeah, and you've got this beautiful, vibrant place and space. What do you want to do with it? Yeah, are you going to leave it as a beautiful guest room so you can invite your friends and your family over? And you can go to, thrift stores, second-hand shops. You can go and find gorgeous things to kit out. It doesn't need to cost a lot. Or would you like to make it into a craft space, or would you like to have it as a reading room, or would you like to have it as a separate television room, or what would you like it to be? Yeah, you've got this extra space. What would you like? And you've made your own arrangements with your own child about what's happening and whether you're going to have a sofa bed in there for when they come to visit, or whether you're going to have a bed in there so that anybody can come, the child can return, or your friends and family can come. So it's great to be able to honour it and think it through, but acknowledge now that it's your space, and that helps them to know that they have moved on and you've given them, you've passed over the reins for them to run their own life. An adult child, and by that I mean over the age of 18 or 21, if you're doing it as the 3 ages of children. If you remember the 3 ages of children, 0 to 7, you care for them, 7 to 14, where you prepare them, 14 to 21, you teach them so that they can, as is happened in this case, fly the nest. So give them the honour of knowing that you trust them, you've boxed everything up, it's gone to them, or it's gone in an agreed time frame. You've cleaned the room, you've cleansed the room, you've opened the windows, you've made the vibrant of the flooring, you've washed it through, or you've vacuumed it through, right? And you've created your own place and your own space. And then you can celebrate the fact that you are now extending your life into, you've now got spare room, so in which case get on and invite your guests, yeah? Or you've got a craft room, in which case get all your craft things beautifully laid out and actually do some crafting. Or you've got a reading room, yeah, and you've got maybe beautiful bookcases and you can go in there and sit in a beautiful chair and read. Or you've got a separate television space, always useful for those moments when there's somebody else in your house wants to watch something very different to you. So you've got a separate space to be able to go and watch the television. It is what it is. You've made it your own place and space. So let's take a few moments and celebrate that. It's yes, my child has moved on. Yeah, they're always your child, whether they're 40 or whether they're 4. Yeah, my child has moved on. Yeah, they are taking a hold of their own life. Yay, wonderful. Yeah, I've passed over the reins. I have full confidence in them. And you concentrate. Remember, energy follows thought. You concentrate on the gifts and the strengths that they have, not on the things that you're worried about. You concentrate on all their gifts and their strengths. And now you can focus on you. So, I trust me, I love me, I nurture me, I do all the things with this place and this space to honour that my child has moved on, and that I am able to spread myself and spread my wings into this place and space for the good of the whole family. And I can do things that I've always wanted to do, and this is my time. So taking your time to do energy follows thought, thinking about what you want to do with the space, thinking about the strengths of your child, yeah, and working in your own way to move anything that you find to hand over to your child so that you can then clear your space and hand everything over to them in a celebration of how wonderful it is that they have moved on and they can find their own way in life. So congratulations to anybody who's doing that. Yeah, it's not easy and it's very beautiful at the same time. So I send lots of love from me, Sue Ricks, from the Sue Ricks Academy, wishing you well as you and your children spread their wings. Lots of love. Bye.